Hello there, it's Steve-O here from the Elite FPL podcast, and as I always state, you may be wondering what on earth is going on. There's been no advertisements or anything. Well, as I was walking home from work, I just thought, do you know what? I am going to want to share my live reaction to the team news that has happened within our Cash Mini League and of course the Elite FPL Mini League. Now, Jason decided to post on the Elite FPL podcast Twitter account, which is at Elite FPL, his team. If you didn't see it, I will be able to go over it in a minute. But just a quick thing to start with. So today we had big news that United are going to be having a double game week 32 and also a double game week 35. The fixtures being at home to Watford and then away at Wolves in double game week 32, and then in double game week 35 away at Everton and then at home to Man City. Big news. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss any of this tonight or now. I just want to make this as quick as I can to basically, like I said, react to the teams that I feel are important in our mini league. Good evening, Brett. And there was another guy watching just now. It's just sent a message in, of course, as I click on it. Poor Wicket. My goodness, Paul Wicket, the man that has dropped, I believe. But again, we're going to come on to that in a minute. What I do want to say is that we did have on Wednesday evening, if anybody missed it, the very popular FPL YouTuber at Davey FPL. We got him on to basically find out about him. And yes, he basically previewed the game week with us. It was a fantastic interview. Very down-to-earth bloke. Really, really enjoyed speaking to him, and off air, exactly the same. Fantastic guy. So, I am now going to get on with reacting live to the team news as per se. So I may as well start with my team. So I'm 6,013th in the world. As I stated on the podcast the other day, I genuinely feel I'm having a bad season because Jason's having such a phenomenal one, being 107th in the world. So, as we all know, I did a stupid -4 transfer 2 weeks ago. I completely regretted it the second I did it, but I did it. I don't even know what I did, to be honest with you, so I'm even going to have to look. I know Bamba was one of them, and he is starting tonight. There's no, just a quick mention on tonight's team news, there's nothing of interest other than Arnautovic is on the bench. So, and also, for anybody that who's interested in Davey FPL, he just put up a post saying that whoever out of Felipe Anderson or Arnautovic starts, that's who he's going to be bringing in. So obviously he's going to be bringing in Felipe Anderson, and also, more importantly, he's going to captain him as well. And I've just looked at it, and I brought in Bamba and Mane, that's right, for Richarlison and Danilo. A bit about that, not too particularly happy with it now, with hindsight. As I stated at the time, I really wish I'd just done the simple transfer, and it's all I needed to do, which was Aguero to Aubameyang. I didn't do it, and I've kind of regretted it. But my team in full is Patrizio in goal, Robertson, Lindelof, Bamba. I've got Mane, Salah, Pogba, Son, Rashford, Jimenez, and I'll have Bennett coming on for Aguero. The question is, who did I captain? Now, for me, this has got to have been the most stressful captaincy pick I've had to date this season. I had, in my opinion, 4 options, and they were all in the United game. I don't want to captain Son because I feel that in the United game, if someone's going to do anything, they'll get more points than Son, if you know what I mean. So, who did I captain? I went with Pogba. I I'm relatively confident that I went with Pogba. His form versus the top six as of late, so as I mentioned in the podcast the other day, against Arsenal, Chelsea, and I've completely forgotten the other team, he's done really, really well. I just find that the fact that they're at home, they're in a must-win game. So are Liverpool. They're both in must-win games, but I just feel the fact that it's at home. I saw on the FPL site that Pogba's averaging basically 10 points a game under Solskjaer. I just had to do it. I personally believe this is going to be a really, really tight game. I can see it being 0-0, 1-1, 2-1 either way, 1-0 either way. Obviously, Liverpool are going to go in there to attack. United could just pick them off. Again, this is literally just pot luck with his captaincy choice. But once I found out what Jason's done, I'm now just... I'm very disappointed because the obviously captain choice for me was going to be Aubameyang. He's the obvious candidate. He only got an assist last night in a 3-0 win, which was a bit of a surprise, but it was a stroll for Arsenal. So I'm not really panicking per se over that. So yeah, I went with Pogba, and there we are. So I am now going to look at what I already know, which is Jason's team. So number 107th in the world. He is ahead in the mini league that I take very, very seriously, the cash mini league, by about 90 points. And he's ahead of me, and I'm second. So I'm going to find out exactly what he did. Well, I know what he did. He brought in Aubameyang. So Jason's about 90 points ahead. In fact, he's 89 points ahead of me. He brought in Pereira and Aubameyang. He captained Aubameyang. I've gone into panic mode completely. He's taken a -4, but he got rid of Aguero. I didn't realise he did that. So Danilo and Aguero out for Pereira and Aubameyang for a -4. Did he need to do it? The simple answer is, I don't think he did. I think, me personally, I can't be criticising someone that's 107th in the world, but we all have our opinions. And to be honest with you, I feel that Jason could have just simply done Aubameyang, Aguero to Aubameyang, and captain. That was it. I don't think he needed to take a hit at all. And he is telling me, as I see, if he wanted 11 players, yes. I don't think this game week requires 11 players to do. I think anybody could have got away with 10, possibly even 9. Obviously, we had the news today or yesterday that Wan-Bissaka isn't playing. Don't think that's a major loss, to be honest with you. I saw a lot of people on a forum site panicking over Wan-Bissaka not playing. I don't think it really matters. They're away at Leicester. Not really a favourable fixture, despite the fact that I can see it being a very drab game, but whatever. I personally think that Jason's obviously gotten with the perfect captain this week. Obviously, I'm praying that it doesn't pay off, but... So, Jason's team in full. He's got Fabianski playing tonight. Alexander-Arnold, if he plays. He may not play. He should do, but you just don't know. Alexander-Arnold, Pereira, obviously. Bennett, Son, Salah, Pogba, Puncheon, Rashford, Jimenez and Aubameyang. So then, moving on to third spot, which I believe is Darren Mundy. No, it's Ben Towler. Now, Ben's about 18 points behind me. He's made one transfer. Let's see what that transfer is. Well, what I can tell you is that he's captained Aubameyang, so I'm assuming he brought Aubameyang in. And the simple answer is, yep, he brought in... Oh, he brought in Arnautovic. He brought in Aubameyang last week. Right, okay. So he brought in Arnautovic, who isn't playing tonight. Oh dear. So straight away his transfer hasn't paid off. Getting rid of Aguero for Arnautovic is a bit strange. Again, looking at his team, he's going to have... I can see what he's done here. So Martial's been ruled out, although I believe he started to train. Again, will he play? I have no idea. But from what I understand from United supporters, they're not confident that he will play. Wan-Bissaka isn't going to be playing, so Bednarak's going to be coming on for him. So Ben Towler's team in full: Alisson, Kolasinac, Shaw, Bennett, Wan-Bissaka, but he won't play. So Son, Salah, Jota as his midfield three, Rashford, Aubameyang and Arnautovic, who is on the bench tonight. But he's captain Aubameyang. It's the safe option. I can't see anything going wrong there. As I predicted, I personally believe Aubameyang will get a double-digit return. So good luck to anybody that's captain here. So on to Darren Monday, who's fourth. He's done 2 transfers. Let's see what he has done. But these 2 transfers are for free, which, depending on who he's brought in, may backfire. So he got rid of... okay, he's just basically got rid of bench fodder rubbish. Wan-Bissaka and Hart out, and brought in... I don't even know who this player is. So if anybody in chat knows who Akula Manga is, let me know. And he brought in Artur Boric. So basically, he's brought in 2 bench players for 2 bench players. I don't see the point in... Oh, he plays for Cardiff, Akula Manga. Never heard of him. I'll just quickly click on his information here. And he's been a regular starter, so he's 4.4. He is a regular starter for Cardiff. I've never heard of him in my life. Click down and he's got 1 assist, which by pure coincidence, that was back in game week 7 against us when they lost 2-1. So he brought in a Cardiff player. Yeah, don't see the point in that. But Darren's team in full: Alexander-Arnold, Fabianski in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Akela Manga, Pogba, Fraser, Son, Salah, Mitrovic, Rashford, Jimenez. He's captain Son. Interesting. But I've already stated I think Son will get something again. Harry Kane. Not actually... Harry Kane potentially may be starting, but I very, very much doubt it. I think Pochettino will actually rather him be back for, I believe it's Chelsea, which is the next game after this game week. I just can't wait for this game week to finish. Yeah, so it's Chelsea versus Spurs. I think that's when Harry Kane will be back. They're already through, let's be honest here, against Borussia Dortmund. Yes, okay, football can go in many different ways, but let's be honest here, they're 3-0 up. Borussia Dortmund didn't get an away goal, so I wouldn't be panicking about that. So, yeah, Son captain. I believe it will pay off. It's the obvious choice in his team. He has Pogba and Salah, but of the 3 there, I think, yeah, Son is, for him anyway, yeah, go for it. So I'm going to look at Dan's team. Let's have a quick, brief look at Dan's team here. Yep, he's taken that -4. We did speak about it, like I said, in the game 27, and he's captained Son. Right, okay, he's captained Son. Fair enough again. Nothing wrong with it. A perfectly good move there, I believe. So his game week 27 transfers were Rico and Deulofeu out. You just know what's going to happen tonight. Deulofeu's probably actually going to produce something. He did bring in, though, Felipe Anderson and Pereira. So I think 2 solid moves there. Can't go wrong with that. -4. Yeah, let's look at his team in full. So Schmeichel in goal, Pereira, Bednarak, Doherty, Felipe Anderson, Son captain, Pogba, Salah, Westwood, Jimenez and Rashford to play. Now then, on to what you guys are part of, which is the Elite FPL podcast. Now, just to state this, so I've just seen a few notifications come through from Dan, Jason, wondering what I'm doing. I'll just alliterate this point. I just felt like doing this because I can. It's quite simple, and I'm rather share my live thoughts on what I think on people's teams through this process, through the hardcore audience that we've got. And yeah, here we go. So on to Jack Gleason's team. Now Jack, of course, doing absolutely phenomenally this season as well. Down to 626th. He's made 1 transfer. Wow. Guess who he went with captain? Salah. Gone with Salah as captain. Good God, amazing. What an incredible transfer. And look at that. I always say this about top players. when your luck's in, your luck's in. And Pereira is on his bench. Who's not going to be playing? Wan-Bissaka. This is when it really, really just drives me up the wall, because when you feel like you may just potentially have some kind of advantage over somebody, you just see something which just smacks you in the face, and in that case it's Pereira. But whatever, so Jack Gleason's team, I mean, anybody that's watching this live, if you want to just go to the Elite FPL podcast and just click on the teams to view, by all means. So he's got Patrizio in goal, Robertson, Doherty is his vice-captain. I'd love it if Salah, for whatever reason, couldn't start. That would be just amazing, but Doherty is vice-captain. Wan-Bissaka won't be playing, so Pereira, Schindler, Mane, Pogba, Salah, Son, Jimenez, Rashford. Let's have a quick look at that one individual transfer that he did. I'm assuming it was Pereira, and yes it was. It was Digne out for Pereira, so fair enough there. So on to third spot, which is John Harris. He is 972nd in the world. He made one transfer. What's going on here? I'm going to use my favourite quote, which is, what do these guys know that I don't? Which is, John Harris, he's Captain Salah. What's going on here? Now, he was somebody, now funny enough, I was potentially tempted on captaining Salah, but I really do go on history, and his form against the top teams is basically hasn't returned anything whatsoever, so I'm hoping that continues. So he brought Felipe Anderson in for Richarlison. Fair enough. Excellent transfer. He's playing tonight. It was for free. So Fabianski in goal, Robertson, Trippier, Doherty, Alexander-Arnold, Felipe Anderson, Son, Pogba, Salah captain, Rashford and Jimenez up front. Very well done to him. Now I know Paul Wickett's in chat, so I'll just quickly speak about his team. He is 5th in our league. 1,716th in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. He's made no transfers. He's the Captain Salah as well. Jason, if you're watching this, what are you thinking with all these top players captaining Salah, and you've gone and done your -4, getting rid of Aguero and bringing in Aubameyang again? Perfectly logical move. I'm just flabbergasted by this. I'm just quite taken aback by the top 3 of the top 5 in the Elite FPL League that are in the top 1,700 in the world of Captain Salah. So Fabianski in goal, Robertson, Doherty, Wan-Bissaka not playing, but he's going to get Johnny from Wolves coming on. Almiron, Rafa Benitez today saying he'll definitely be starting. Son, always ready to play. Son, Salah, captain, Pogba, Jimenez, Rashford and Firmino. We know a lot of talk about him. Will he actually perform on Sunday afternoon? Quickly look at 4th spot now. Can we get all of the top 5 in our Elite FPL Mini League, barring Jason, captaining Salah? So Kelvin Chua, has he captained Salah? Oh, no. He's gone with my captain. He's gone with Pogba. So that's kind of phew. He's 1,368th in the world. He has taken a -4 though. So let's have a quick look at what he transferred in. Although he does have Van Dijk on the bench, surprisingly. So we got rid of Edison and Valerie and brought in Schmeichel and Shah of Newcastle, which is fair enough. Perfectly normal transfers. I don't think... Let's have a look at that again, sorry. I don't think I would have taken a -4 for that. I find it's always interesting seeing other FPL players' thought processes, and Valerie out for Shah. Yeah, I mean, I would have just kept this Valerie and I would have just played Van Dijk. I wouldn't have taken a -4. I would have just played Van Dijk. Clearly, I mean, he is a Man United. Well, I'm assuming he's a Man United fan. The fact that he's on the Man United fan page, 3 United players in his team, a bit like, well, exactly like me, Lindelof, Pogba, and Rashford. Obviously, he's very, very confident United are going to win. I'm wondering if there's any club bias there in his decision making. I'm just going to take a random punt at yes. But it would be interesting to see if he wasn't a United fan and was a Liverpool fan, would he have captained Salah as an example? But, you know, we can't go down that route whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm a bit surprised he's taken -4, but he's done that. So Van Dijk out. I'm not really looking at the chat. I'm not being rude. I'm not looking at the chat. But you guys just continue chatting away. I'll pick out some popular names which are regulars within our, within our FPL community chat, our Twitter account, our Instagram, if I can look out here. So straight away, FPL Booner. So let's just see what FPL Booner has done. He's done a -4. And he's captained. Oh, he's gone with Son. Right, okay. Being a Tottenham fan makes sense. Although, what's his -4? Let's have a look at what transfers FPL Booner made, at least. See if it would have worked out. And the simple answer is, so Sigurdsson and Sterling out for Son and Felipe Anderson. Again, perfectly logical transfers. Would I have got rid of Sterling? Probably not, but he's a lot of money. He's not going to go down in price. It's just bringing him back in, which could be the concern for FPL Booner. But, you know, captaining Son, I feel it will pay off. So his team in full, Fabianski. Nice differential here in Van Aanholt. Doherty, Robertson, Salah, Son captain, Pogba, Felipe Anderson, Mane, Jimenez and Rashford up top. So as we scroll down a bit more here, can we pick out any more popular contributors? Capping Gaming. Now, he is somebody that does actually give a few shout-outs to us, actually. He went with a -4. Okay, so Capping Gaming, 16,919th in the world. He's gone with Captain and Son. He's taken a -4. Let's just quickly find out what Capping Gaming did for his transfers for a -4. So Richarlison, Wan-Bissaka out, Pereira, Felipe Anderson. All the same names, really, isn't it? Pereira, somebody certainly I'm monitoring / almost certainly going to be bringing in for the blank game week 31. Perfectly logical moves there. I can see why he's got rid of Wan-Bissaka. And yeah, Patrizio, Pereira, Bennett, Van Dijk, Felipe Anderson, Punchin, Son captain, Salah, Pogba, Jimenez, Rashford. It's the same old names as per normal there. As we scroll down here, let's see. I'll try and look for Brett Mollison, actually. I know he's in chat at the moment. He's in Australia. I'm going to have to go to the next page. I wonder how many teams are actually in this league, because this is just absolutely ludicrous. How many teams are in our league? 96 with 2 to add, so we're going to get up to 9. I wonder if we can get up to 100 by the end of this game week. Which reminds me, actually, from myself, Jason and Dan, we want to say a massive thank you for, well, hitting our target for this specific game week of getting 300 subscribers. So, hooray! No, seriously, amazing. Can't believe we actually got we got 307 subscribers. We get a lot of love, and we really, really do appreciate your thoughts and opinions on our podcast to see where we can improve on, what you guys want us to do. I will also let you know as well that, if you're aware or not, that Jason has put up he did put up some polls on the last YouTube video, which you will see at the top of your screen when you go into it. It just comes up as I don't want to patronise anybody, it comes up as the grey box. So I'm going to assume that he will have a poll up for our next podcast, and I'll let you know what's going on with such a busy game week. But as I was doing that mini speech, I did see Brett Mollison. Now, I'm only saying this for banter. But out of 96 teams, Brett Mollison is 83rd, but it's his first season. Can't have a go. He is overall rank 1 million. So when you look at it, it's like, wow, 1 million. Yeah, in the top 1 million, basically. -4. Oh, hooray! We got a differential captain. Fantastic. Fulham have scored. Hey! Ryan Babel, super. Oh wow, Ryan Babel scored. Brilliant. Someone that me and Dan spoke about in the transfer deadline day look at players that were brought in, were there any standout ones. Ryan Babel was somebody that me and Dan tipped as somebody that could do Fulham well. We, at the start of the season, this is before we even were on YouTube, we did our preview for the season like we always do. And Schürrle was somebody that I pulled out the bag as someone that would do pretty well for Fulham, which he has done. And yeah, Ryan Babel signing for Fulham. I don't think he's going to be their saviour, but he's a good quality player. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know much about his history, only that once he left Liverpool, went back to the Netherlands, he seemed to have revived his career, basically. But going back to Brett Mollison's team, so yeah, Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Doherty, Pereira, Salah, Pogba's son, Felipe Anderson as captain, Arnautovic, Jimenez and Rashford. So we'll just quickly gloss over his -4 transfer. Let's see what he did. And he got rid of Wan-Bissaka, Sterling, Camara, brought in Arnautovic, Felipe Anderson and Pereira. Again, perfectly logical moves. Although, getting rid of Sterling, really, really personally would have done that myself. But if you're wanting a full 11 out for this game week, then probably that's what you're wanting to do. But I really do think this was a bit of a panic game week for a lot of people, worrying about having only 8 or 9 players. Don't think that's a problem at all, really. I think that if you had 11 players anyway, that was a bonus. If you only had 10, and to sacrifice getting rid of, like Jason did, Aguero, I'm not suggesting that's a bad move. Again, I think it's a perfectly logical move. But for a -4, which I've already gone into, I just don't know why he's done it. But he's 107th. Can't really complain, really. But just seen a couple more names of popular community contributors here. So Dejan Chenko, he is 59th in our Elite FPL Mini League. He's captain of Aubameyang, which I'm assuming is what his transfer was. So let's just find out who his transfer was. I'm assuming he got rid of Aguero, and the simple answer is no. Okay, fair enough. He got rid of Digne and brought in Pereira. Yeah, that's completely logical. So Fabianski in goal, Pereira, Wan-Bissaka. So Wan-Bissaka ain't going to play, but he's going to have Lindelof coming on. Alexander-Arnold, Doherty, Pogba, Salah's son, Felipe Anderson, Rashford and Aubameyang captain. And finally, I did see a name just now. Vince Chapman, of course. He's on a lot of podcast streams and everything. And he went with Son captain. Okay, he's done 2 free transfers. What I will do in a minute, actually, is I'll go over the overall league and let's see players out. So Richarlison, Duffy and Ericsson in. Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, 2 very differential picks. Could pay off. Ericsson, of course, from what I remember, he was the player that scored the only goal against us versus at White Hart Lane at Wembley, my local ground, basically. But yeah, let's just quickly find out. So Ericsson, when he played us, and the simple answer is, once this game loads up, which of course it doesn't when I need to, yes, he scored the only goal in that game in the dying seconds. So will he repeat it? Obviously Vince will desperately want that to happen. So I'm just going to quickly go on to the overall mini league rank here. So number 1 in the world, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his team name, but Joel Tesfaye, whatever, it doesn't really matter, has no meaning to us whatsoever. Who did he captain? This is the big one. Wow. Okay, he went with Son. Straight away, anybody that captains Son, breathe a sigh of relief. So he went with Son. He's gone with a 5-4-1. He made 2 transfers this week. I'm not even going to gloss over what he did for transfers, but point being is that he's captained Son. I'm just going to quickly see who got the assist. Sessegnon. Wow, okay. I saw he was actually starting tonight. And of course, my first reaction was, what a player he was in the Championship and just hasn't been able to replicate in the Premier League. I know it's 2 different leagues. I know he's rarely started, but, you know, just an absolute quality player. But, yeah, so number 1 in the world has captained Son. Fair play. So let's go to number 2 in the world, Leon Lewis. Who did he captain then? That's all we care about now. And he went with Son as well. Okay, right. So the overall ranking in the world, the question is, what do they know? And the Elite FPL mini league, all captaining Salah, what do you know? Is the interesting question of the night. So number 3 in the world. Let's quickly find out what he did. Oh, he played a wild card. He's captain Aubameyang, so 3 in the world has played his wild card. And he brought in Arnautovic, who doesn't start. He'll come on though, that's a guaranteed. He'll come on for definite. He's captain Aubameyang. So he brought in from Arsenal. I don't know why he's brought in the Arsenal keeper, but considering number 1, they don't keep clean sheets. He hardly gets any save points either, from my basic knowledge. Yeah, the team, yeah, whatever. Doesn't really like, it's just your template team, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to go quickly to fourth place in the world. See who he captained, just for fun. He went with Aubameyang, fair enough. He took a -4. And whether people are aware or not, a very popular fantasy site, do you know what, let's just name it, Fantasy Football Scout. They do what's called Meet the Manager podcasts. So I think they're really, really interesting actually, because they always chat with people that have got really, really good history. And a guy they had on recently, Sean Tobin, really, really nice podcast, really. You could just tell he was just a bloke that just really, really enjoyed playing FPL. It was predominantly his life, you know, nothing wrong with that. And he's doing absolutely phenomenally this season. He's 7th in the world. And he went to captain Aubameyang as well. Makes complete sense to me. And yeah, you know, what can I say? There's nothing much more I can say about that, really. So it looks like the main popular choice being Son as captain in I'm doing that based on an average of 4 people in the overall ranking, but whereas in the Elite FPL mini league, it is Salah as the main captaincy choice. Well, there we have it. I'll just quickly just to look at just some players in our Torbay Elite mini league, just to keep this going a bit, just to keep it a bit more interesting for myself. I just want to look at a couple more teams which I occasionally look at, just to be like, you know what, you're doing well as of late. Who have you gone with captain, just to see if you've followed the trend? And so a lad in our league, a good friend of mine, Pete Andrews, he's been doing really, really well, and he's captained Pogba. But Pete's somebody that he really goes for maverick moves. He kind of, you know, he thinks with his head, but he likes to go with differential a lot, and it's a bit worrying for myself, him going Pogba, but like I said, I can see Pogba doing all right. He's only going to have 10 playing, but if Arnautovic doesn't come on, he's only going to have 9 players playing. Let's look at Dan's rivals, Terry Roos. Let's have a look at him. He's about 10 points clear of Dan at the moment, and he went with captain Salah. Of course he did. Captain Salah, yes. So there's another one that gets his captains quite regularly right. And I'll go to the Bellamy brothers. So Dale Bellamy first. He's 9th in our mini league. He went with Felipe Anderson as captain. Oh, Dale. Interesting to know why you went Felipe Anderson. Bit of the risk there. I had it down as a 2-1 close game. I just don't think tonight. I think lots of people thought it'd be a really high scoring game. Dan went with 2-2. Davey FPL went with 2-0. I went 2-1 to West Ham. So just quickly going on to Dale, his brother Si. He's another one that likes to watch the podcast and everything. He took a -4 and he's captain's son. Yeah, but he will only have... Oh no, he will have a full 11. And he's kept his City assets in Gundogan, Sterling and Aguero. Right then. So, the big news, taking from all of that, is quite simply, let's be honest here, Jason, co-host Jason, being 107th in the world, taking a -4 to get rid of Danilo and Aguero, and he brought in Aubameyang to captain, which for me is a perfectly logical move. I just think that I don't think I would have taken a -4. I would have just done Aguero to Aubameyang. That's all I would have done. That's what I would have advised him to do. But he's done the -4. Can it pay off? Will it pay off? The simple answer is I think it will. But as I stated in the Elite FPL podcast, 3 of the top 5 have gone with Salah captain, including Jason's closest rival in Jack Gleeson going with Salah as well. So, right then, that concludes my solo Game Week 27 team news. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is predominantly for the hardcore audience. Obviously, you guys were in chat, just chatting away about your teams. I apologise for not responding to anything on there, but I can't see anything, basically. It just comes up, disappears, done. But, so to give you an idea of what's going on with the Elite podcast for the next week or so, because remember, it is 3 game weeks within the space of the week, which is quite fascinating. I can't wait to get rid of this game week. This game week to me is just a write-off. Even though I'm obviously going to be getting really angry or really happy about it, I just am writing it off, and it's on to the next game week, which of course is, in fact, you know what, for a bit of fun, let's just do my team live for the next game week. I haven't even done that yet. So my team next week, who shall I captain? It's got to be Aguero. So it's going to be between Aguero and Salah. I'm going to automatically put it on Aguero as captain. I believe their history versus West Ham is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, Aguero captain straight away. Quick brief overview of the fixtures, anything that stands out. So obviously Chelsea versus Spurs, an absolutely massive game. Now obviously if anybody's aware, if you're not aware, this will be news. If you are aware, it just means absolutely nothing. But if Man United beat Liverpool on Sunday and Spurs were to win every single game for the remaining fixtures, Tottenham will win the league. So there we have it, FPL Guna. You will win the league if you win every single game from here on in, and if Man United beat Liverpool. So, yeah, so midweek fixtures. So Wednesday evening, Man City versus West Ham, Liverpool, Watford. They're going to be the 2 big ones. So yeah, a bit of a captaincy, another captaincy dilemma for us here. So that's going to be quite interesting in the following game week on obviously Saturday. Any standout games there straight away? Liverpool away at Everton. Yeah, could be a Salah captain there. Who have City got just for fun? Bournemouth away. That could be goals galore. My goodness. Man United at home to Southampton. Yeah, now obviously there's going to be a lot of talk about building up to blank game week 31 and everything. I've already said my piece on that. I'm not going to talk about it now. I just want to go to bed. But yeah, so what we are planning on doing is the usual Sunday live reaction to what has happened between the Arsenal-Southampton game and Man United-Liverpool especially. We're probably going to be going live at 6:30 UK time if you want to join us, which obviously we'll be promoting that particular podcast. And then we are going to be doing a live stream podcast on Wednesday evening. Now, you know, Jason may put up a poll on Twitter at EliteFPL. If he doesn't, I'm going to do a poll right now, live, which is simply this. So Dan won't be joining us because he'll be watching the Arsenal-Bournemouth game. So it'll be most likely going to be me and Jason doing it. If I'm available, of course. I don't even know my availability next week, but I'd like to think that I'm going to be available on Wednesday. But that aside, so the question is, we will be asking if you want us to do a full 90-minute live stream of the games on Wednesday evening. But it won't be 90 minutes. It's going to be about what? The last one was about 2 hours, 20 minutes. So it'll be about 2 hours, 20 minutes covering the evening games on Wednesday, the 27th of February, which is game week 28. And then we will be doing I would assume then we would then do a preview for game week 29 on either Thursday or Friday. Again, we would be discussing this together with each other. So we will clarify all this information, but everything is all go at the moment. And I think I've just seen somebody say that Watford has scored. Yes, Watford 1-0. Well, yeah. I mean, I predicted 2-1. I predicted 1-1. Dan went 2-1. Davey went 2-1 to Watford. You know, it's inevitable. To be honest, I'm not really fussed. I knew that Cardiff were going to concede. That was just for me a panic buy, but oh well, what a shame. I'd be interested who scored. That would be the interesting thing. I wonder if I can quickly get it up. The simple answer is no, of course. Why would I be able to? But yes, so 3 or 4 podcasts in the space of a week. It's going to be quite high intense, but I know everybody loves the old live reaction podcast, especially once we get the full presentation on screen and whatnot. It's all brilliant what Jason does. So yes, thank you for tuning in. I cannot believe I've been going for 42 bloody minutes. That's absolutely insane. That was just my quick live reaction to the top players in our mini leagues and the overall ranking. I'm not going to suggest for 1 minute, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, because I'm fully aware this is for the hardcore following of the Elite FPL community, which we thank you for. So thank you for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button. Hit that thumbs up, mate. Yeah. No, but seriously, if you enjoyed it, just hit the like button. Any feedback, again, predominantly for the podcast overall, is greatly appreciated. We do act on it. We are really active at the moment on Twitter. We're obviously very active on Instagram, which are both at EliteFPL. So if you don't follow us and you want to follow us to find out when we're going to be going live, when we're going to be doing whatever podcasts, then you will find out immediately what's going on. If you haven't watched the at Davey FPL interview / preview podcast that we did on Wednesday, please watch it. It's a really, for me, I found it, for me personally, I'm not going to lie, I was quite in awe of the fact that we had a YouTube FPL celebrity on, if I'm honest with you. It was a shame that Jason couldn't join us, but there were obvious reasons for that. So he couldn't join us. We were very grateful that after major technical difficulties, we eventually got him involved. Now, if you haven't watched that particular podcast, Davey joined us after about 20 minutes. I think it was 19 minutes 42. I tagged when he came in, but yeah, we were taken aback by the fact that Skype, surprise, surprise, was letting us down. But like I said, if you haven't watched that particular episode, I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice insight into why Davey does the podcast. And surprise, surprise, the game still hasn't updated to see who got the assist. But yeah, it was a really interesting insight into why Davey actually does the YouTube videos and basically why he's so successful at it. But yes, anyhow, thank you very much for joining in. If you haven't subscribed, you know, hit that subscribe button, but this is going to be predominantly seen by the hardcore audience. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully we get the points that we want. If not, then you can rant with us on Sunday. So myself, Dan and Jason will see you on Sunday evening at approximately 6:30 UK time. Anyhow, thank you very much for joining, and we will see you soon.